This is The Bottom Line. The Bottom Line on 938 Live.
The Land Transport Authority has told 938 Live that it's reviewing the impact of third-party applications on the taxi industry and how they may help to match demand with supply. LTA added that commuters and taxi drivers have the choice to use such apps if they're willing to pay the fees involved. Now, there is a range of apps in the market. We're talking here about Grabtaxi, Easytaxi, as well as Moobitaxi. Car matching application Uber has also just launched its Ubertaxi service this week. For more on this, Travis Teo spoke with Vivek Vaidya, a Vice President covering Automotive and Transportation at Frost Sullivan.
I think apps launched by the taxi companies was not really the revenue earning measure at all, because finally, whatever you paid to the taxi driver was retained by him. In our opinion, these taxi drivers are using this app as an override to the existing app. And actually, when they use these third-party apps, they need to pay these app companies. So it is basically the taxi driver's choice whether he wants to use this third-party taxi app or not.
Can you tell me about the whole process for the taxi drivers? You mentioned they need to pay the app company to use their third-party app. How does it work?
Yeah. So how it works is taxi drivers, they need to install these apps on their smartphone. And when the consumer who also looks for a cab on the smartphone, they get a notification. And if they accept the booking and actually land up picking up the passenger, then there is some charge which, the taxi driver needs to pay. It varies from app to app, but our estimate is it varies from $1 upwards for every call.
So do you think the taxi drivers are happy about it, though? We have seen that there are protests in other countries. This is because some of the apps, for example, Uber allows non-taxi drivers to also pick up passengers, and that takes away a portion of the market for the taxi drivers. So how is Singapore like?
Correct. So we have to differentiate between two apps. One is Uber kind of application which puts non-taxi drivers and positions them as taxi drivers, and that would basically take away the chunk of taxi drivers' revenues. But other taxi apps improve the efficiency of the taxi distribution. So any app that provides a better taxi booking or improves the efficiency of the system, taxi drivers are definitely happy about it, and the uptake rate is pretty good. But applications which are like Uber, which any person can become a taxi driver in his free time, obviously the taxi drivers are not happy about it.
Right. For some of them, the apps, they use a bidding system. So you have to put in a certain amount of money in order for you to get a cab. Will that inflate the price, in the future? How does that play out in the market?
But it would be regulated by the demand supply. The customers would pay more if they really need, it's a shortage of taxis, it's raining, and if somebody is in a hurry, then so it would definitely inflate the bill, but I would say it would be regulated by demand supply. If there is no demand, then obviously the premiums would be lower. In the times when there is shortage of cabs and higher demand, the premiums will be higher.
So what do you think, in your opinion? Do you think will we end up paying more in the future?
In peak hours, yes, but in non-peak hours, no.
Right, that's because in peak hours people will bid more and there's more demand.
Correct.
Vivek Vaidya, Vice President at Frost Sullivan, speaking there with 938 Live's Travis Teo. The Bottom Line is brought to you by Turkish Airlines, Europe's best airline.